give me a little typesetting.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you?
You're tired.
Well, the lunchtime whistle and the morning's finally done. I'm jumping in my car, I'm gonna have a little fun. The Doghouse Network's on my radio dial. Big Dog's taking care of business for a while. If you're listening to another station I don't understand, 'cause nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
Give us a call, Steve.
He's a northern-bred, southern-fed, slick-talking guy. Listeners in his posse are the junkyard dogs. The SEC from Tennessee to calling them hogs. From Gainesville up to Lexington to the Titan Tiger Land, nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
You know, there are a couple of things that are very consistent in life. One of them is death. Another one is taxes. Another one is Football Friday.
It's the holiest day of the week, the Friday trifecta.
Boom. Boom. Football Friday means two things. It means the Friday trifecta, and it means football music throughout the show today. And we're getting you started with week 2 of the grand trifecta for this season. This one running through the Super Bowl, and our grand trifecta winner will receive a night in an ice suite at a Huntsville Havoc game, courtesy of our friends at TOC, coming up in March. I'm throwing in dinner before the game at Corralejo's Mexican restaurant, the finest Mexican restaurant in all of Tennessee Valley. Now, this week, again, we are loaded with NFL games, all right? We will get into bowl games for the next 2 Fridays, and we will have shows each of the next 2 Fridays. Now, next week, we got a full week of shows. Friday, we'll have a Friday trifecta. We'll do a bunch of bowl games then. And then the following week, well, of course, Monday is Christmas, and we're going to be off Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We'll come back Friday for Football Friday, because that'll be the Friday before the National Semifinal games and the New Year's Day games and so on. So we'll do another Football Friday trifecta for that one. It'll have some extra points involved in it. But this week, and then after that, we'll shift back and, you know, do a lot of NFL stuff as we head to the NFL playoffs and the Super Bowl and that kind of stuff. But this week, we're loaded up with NFL games. I didn't put any of this weekend's. I know there's 5 or 6 games tomorrow. I get it. Going to watch some of that. Understand it. Won't be able to watch as much tomorrow as I might want to, and I'll explain why in a minute. But the fact of the matter is, we do have our 97.7 ESPN Bowl Challenge ready for you, okay? So you need to get into that. Today, we're going to go through it, and I'm going to make the picks that I made. I've made all picks. I made all 41 picks in the Bowl Challenge right through the national championship game, all right? You didn't have to do that. You only have to make the picks before they lock the games. In other words, all you really have to pick today or tomorrow is tomorrow's games. So I get that. I made all my picks. I probably could have not done it that way, but I did. And now that they're made, just like when I make out a bracket for March Madness, you can't change. You can't go in there and change games now unless somebody enters the transfer portal. And you've made a pick in a game, and the guy enters a it's like if you're a commit to a team and the coach leaves, then you should be able to go in and then make a change then go into transfer portal. None of my games are going into transfer. And Robbie Ashford going into the transfer portal does not change my pick on the TransPerfect Music City Bowl between Auburn and Maryland. Doesn't change my pick. Okay? We'll get to old Robbie in a little bit as he looks to head to his third school. Unless he's going to go play lacrosse or something. I don't know. Maybe he's going to do something else like that. I don't get that. I'm not 100% sure. All right, so here we go. Only Bowling JJ got points last week. So that's it. Just one guy on the board. He got all 4, so he got 3 points last week. But we're going to do it the same way we did it last week. This is the original. We always start the trifectas out with original trifecta style. And then as the season goes on, I start throwing in all kinds of goofy stuff. Kind of keep everybody bunched up. But we always start out with what I like to call the pure trifecta. 3 games, that's your trifecta. Trifecta means 3, right? 3 games, and then I throw a bonus in there so that you can pick up extra points if you get all 4 of the games. And we do food prizes each and every week. So whoever wins this week will get a food prize. We'll get you hooked up with some swag for winning. That's the way that works. All right, let's get you loaded up for this week. In our first game, we're going to take a look at the gruesome NFC South.
The Falcons are headed to the Super Bowl.
They're minus 3.5 at Bryce Young and the Panthers.
That's something that we preach a lot about, making sure that we keep the main thing the main thing.
You're going to keep the main thing the main thing. The Houston Texans do not have C.J. Stroud.
Houston, we have a problem.
They get 3.5 at the Oilers.
When you say the Oilers, you're talking Super Bowl.
This is the confusing one. This is because the Oilers, the Titans will wear the Oiler gear this week against Houston. Not very nice. In our third game.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah! How about them Cowboys?
They get 1.5 in Buffalo.
Bills make me wanna shout, kick your heels up and shout, throw your hands up and shout.
And in our bonus for the additional 2 points,
The Bears
are getting 3.5 in Cleveland.
Chubb's a man.
I think Miles took the approach of, real G's moving silence like lasagna.
Yeah, they do. All right, so there's your games. All right, there's your games. Now, the only way to play is by calling in. The call-in number is 256-576-4977 or hitting the text window, which is open all the way up until, Sunday when these games go. 732-982-7469. You can text the show at 732-9-TA-SHOW. First one to get in is Chris in the Borough, who starts out with Panthers to win outright against the Falcons. Yes, you get food prizes, Grumpy. Grumpy wants to know if there's food prizes. Yes. I'll tell you what we'll put up for this week. Let's put up, since I was there yesterday, let's put up Corjalejos. I have an inventory now here of the prize. We have a lot of stuff in the prize bin. The prize locker is loaded. So we're going to go Corjalejos, $25 gift certificate to Corjalejos if you hit this thing with the bonus. Okay? It's that easy. Don't forget, our X feed, my X feed is at Thom Abraham Show. The station's X feed is at 97.7 ESPN. You can watch the show there. Watch it on Facebook you can't really watch it on Facebook, but there's a link at Facebook at 97.7 ESPN where you can get a link to our YouTube channel at WZZN TV, which continues to blast us for using music or something. I don't know what they're doing to us. I don't understand it. I don't know what song they don't like. I don't understand why they keep doing it. 97.7ESPN.com has links to all of that. While you're at it, get our app where you can find the links to the alternate streaming channels for more great programming. 4 more channels there on the app. Our bowl coverage gets started tomorrow with Jacksonville State in New Orleans to play Louisiana Lafayette. They hate it when you call them that. I can go back 8 or 9 years when I was doing MTSU. I was part of the MTSU broadcast team, and we used to get notes every time we played Louisiana Lafayette. We would get notes that say, please don't call us ULL. Do not call us Louisiana Lafayette. We are just Louisiana. And I'm like, oh, did you see that? Louisiana Lafayette just wants to be called Louisiana now. I can't believe ULL wants to be Louisiana. All right. In that case, we'll call them the Raging Cajuns of Louisiana Lafayette. We will have that game for you on the air tomorrow after the Alabama basketball game. Now, we're double dipping with handicappers today as well. Steve Merril from WagerTalk TV and Pro Sports Info will join us in a few minutes with some thoughts on the bowl season and the NFL. And then at the top of the one, Lee Sterling from ParamountSports.com is back with his bowl special. So the Final Four is set in the FCS division, 1AA, Football Championship Subdivision, whatever the hell you want to call it. The Final Four, they start with 24 teams. Their playoffs, and we're going to have 12-team playoff in Division I next year. Their playoffs, they're as if like we are Division I, they are Division I AA. The Division I AA playoffs have 24 teams. 8 of them get a bye. And there were 8 4-loss teams in the field of 24. I mean, think about how many teams there are in Division in 1 AA. And there were 8 4-loss teams that made it into the field of 24. The top 8 seeded teams, they get a bye in the first round. So now we're at the Final Four. Number 1, number 2, and number 5, and unranked North Dakota State have made it to the Final Four. North Dakota State got in at 8-3 this year. The number 1 seed is South Dakota State. They were 11-0. Did they win last year? Didn't they win it all last year? What happens in 1AA when you get all these teams? You get the same teams. They go on runs. Like North Dakota State won 7 out of 9 years. I think South Dakota State won last year. I'll put the crack research team on it. And they're the number 1 seed this year. They're 11-0. They think they're Georgia or something. Albany is in the Final Four. They were 9-3 in the regular season. Montana is the 2. They went 10-1. So we have 2 3-loss teams in the Final Four of 1AA. How would you feel about that in Division I? I mean, if we'd have had the 12-team playoff this year, we'd have 3 2-loss teams in there, no 3-loss teams. But with a 12-team playoff, there'd be 3 2-loss teams, Ole Miss, Oregon, and Penn State. And any of them could have made it to at least the Final Four. So we're going to have to gird ourselves for that. In fact, I'm going to all but guarantee it. In fact, I'll tell you what. What time is it? It's 12:13 on 12:15. Write it down. 12:13 on 12:15. I'm calling my shot right now. Next year's Final Four will have at least 1 2-loss team in it. Next year's Final Four will have a 2-loss team. We've never had a 2-loss team in the Final Four. I don't know if you heard this, but we never had an undefeated team from a Power 5 conference not make the playoff. Does anybody know that Florida State didn't make it, even though? Yeah, it's not a Power 5 conference anyway. Anyway, I called my shot. We'll have a 2-loss team next year. Over there in a little glass room with the slanted ceiling, playing the platters that matter and the stacks of wax, answer the phones, living large and in charge in my head today. Well, I'll explain. The one and only DJ Grizzly Grizz.
Who in the blue hell are you?
I'm the producer of the show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put the thing together on a stick and polish.
Brilliant! I've got $100 smoking in my billfold. I know I ought to save it, but it's burning a hole. Right through my pocket and into my skin. Come Monday morning, I'll be broke again. It's finally Friday, I'm free again. I got my motor running for a wild weekend. It's finally Friday, I'm out of control. Forget the working blues and let the good time roll. Down goes Grissom.
Someone call someone because there's a cleanup on aisle 3 as a man is down.
It's like taking poison, like rat poison.
It's not St. Patty's Day, so that's a different day entirely.
So now I get it, Grizz. What Grumpy was saying is, I said in the open, talking about the the deal and the prizes for the Friday trifecta, I said we do prizes. We do food prizes, is what I said. We do food. So it's
you
like,
said do.
Because you're. Oh, like, what are we, 12?
The baby. We're babies right now.
What are we?
The duty-free shop. You know what I mean? You ever shop at the duty-free shop?
I don't do a food prize. I'm not crapping out a food prize, okay? I understand what he's saying. How you doing, Grizz? How are you for today on this glorious football Friday with this beautiful weather out there?
Yeah, it's beautiful weather. Doing all right. Yeah, I'm waiting for the bowl season to kick off by tomorrow. And, yeah, you don't have to pick every single bowl game like Thom. You can be like me and some other people out there, I'm sure, that are waiting on these said transfers or whatever's going to go on that might affect the game. But, I mean, just roll with it and let's see what happens and try to win some cool prizes.
All right, two things that I want to get in here before we get to the break, so that we can get in, get our guy in, and I know that. Oh, here I better go check this here. Yeah, South Dakota State won last year by beating North Dakota State.
Yeah, 45-21.
All right, that's good. All right. What is this note you're sending me about the Robbie Ashford now? Does he get to play? Did he graduate or not?
He's not.
He has to wait until he graduates to be able to play. So if he graduates in the spring,
he's supposed to graduate by summer.
Okay, so then he can play next year.
Yeah.
Could be a graduate transfer at that point. All right, so he'll have a chance to go be a backup someplace else now. All right, that works. All right, I got two questions, and then I think I can stick Wolverine down here quick. Grizz, this is for the listenership. You can weigh in on it as well. Not right now, but we'll flesh it out. But I'm going to throw it out there for my listeners. I need help. I've got a very important question I'm dealing with. This is critical. Now, this is a life decision. This is serious now. I've told you guys all the time that my show is my show. It's not the talk and drive, or it's not the the ball or whatever. I mean, it doesn't have it. It's not the ticket. It's not any of that. It's the Thom Abraham Show. Been the Thom Abraham Show for 26 years. So, in reality, it's kind of like the Thom Abraham Show. So my life is a big part of this, and I have a very important life question. Hulu or YouTube? I need to know. I really do. Hulu or YouTube TV? Or do I just stay with the Comcast? Because I understand that the issue that I have of jumping around is going from a streaming service to a cable service. But if you just have Hulu or if you just have YouTube TV, I believe that I can change channels within that and it not be a real big deal. That it's pretty fast. Now, I need sports. That's number one. I don't need the movie. I need DVR and I need sports. Hulu or YouTube, I'm looking for endorsements. All right, that's critical. Second point I want to make. Grizz, I don't know how much of the first few bowl games I'm going to see. Tomorrow I'm doing something I have never done before.
What's going on?
So, Joe's getting married on Sunday, right? My oldest son getting married on Sunday. So for his bachelor event, if you will, for his bachelor event, the best man, which is my son Tommy, the one we call the natural, my next oldest son.
Yeah,
he has arranged for us to have a paintball war.
All right,
basically. We're gonna paintball.
Sorry, I didn't miss out on that. I was looking forward to maybe I'd be there that weekend.
Yeah, well, we're going up to.
Yeah.
I don't know where we're going.
Should do it during the wedding.
Paintball during the wedding with her white dress. That would be good. We're going to do a paintball thing. I guess it's going to be 4-on-4, and it's up in Eagleville or something. I don't know. It's someplace north of where I live. I've never done it before. I mean, I've shot before and stuff, but I've never actually played this paintball thing before. And we're going to do it tomorrow. We each get 1,000 paintballs.
Yeah.
That's a lot of paintballs. We each get 1,000 paintballs. Now, I am not going to run around. I don't know if we're playing caption the flags.
Run around.
I don't know about jumping. Yeah, getting behind. I'm going to get behind. I want to be a sniper.
Hopefully they just have you a trench so you can just hide in the back.
That's what I want. I want to get behind a big roll of hay or something that I don't have to move much, and I want to be a sniper, okay? That's what I want to do. I want to have a nest, a sniper's nest, and I want to be a sniper. I don't want to have to run around and everything. I told them that. I said, look, I'm not running from this spot to that spot. We're not capturing the flag. You guys run. I'll cover you.
Elimination.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to go on the outsides, and then I'll just spray everybody. And I want the two best guys on my team, which is Tommy and their buddy Evan, their business partner Evan, who's a beast. So I want Tommy. Evan is Reacher. I'm going to call him Reacher tomorrow. You ever watch Jack Reacher?
I know. I've never seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
Oh, my gosh. Do you have Prime?
No, I haven't. I've never. I probably won't ever watch it, to be honest with you. I know what you're talking about, though.
You're not going to watch Jack Reacher?
Probably not.
Why? Do you have Prime or not?
I don't have Prime, but I probably won't watch it if I had it.
Why? Why wouldn't you watch it? It's a very testosterone-laced show.
There's other
Jack
shows that I'm
Reacher.
into. I like other shows.
Like what?
There's other shows that I have to finish right now that I haven't even finished that I need to.
What, like Fixer Upper or something? Or
God, no.
Flip My House? Or
No.
I mean, this is an action show. Reacher.
I like good shows.
Anyway, Evan is Reacher. I'm going to just call him Reacher. So I got to do that tomorrow. He said we might be there for like 4 hours. So I don't want to do anything for 4 hours.
I haven't been paintballing in forever. That is one of I did that in college, and then I played woods ball too. It's a lot of fun when you're able to go out in the woods
What's
and play.
woods ball?
You literally set up like a base out in the woods, and you play like capture the flag in the woods. Two bases in the woods.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in the woods would be fine.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind doing it in the woods, but I want a sniper's nest is what I want to be in. A sniper's nest is what I want to do. All right, let me get Wolverine Dan in here so he can just give us a taste of these picks here, because he's busy man. You know, he's retired, but he's busy. He's like painting a car or something. Who knows what he's doing? Wolverine Dan, welcome to the show. How are you?
So you want to be a sniper, so basically you're a sitting duck.
Well, if they don't know where I'm at. I mean, if I'm up in a sniper's nest.
Tom, you got shoulders as big as a truck. They're not going to find you somewhere.
Well, I don't know.
You got a point there, right, Dan? You got a point there.
Well, you do have a point there. Plus I'll be, once I start firing, they'll know where the firing is coming from, and they might come and attack me or something like that. No. I don't know. I've never been hit by a paintball. Does it hurt? Has anybody ever been hit by a paintball? Does it? I'm gonna have a hoodie and a Carhartt on. I'm gonna be all in black. I should be all in tan, huh?
Don't mess up your Carhartt.
Well, they say it cleans off. Doesn't it clean off? No,
hey,
it washes off.
Why don't you take a little a virtual reality and look at the place, right, where they got the paintball, and find out what the decor is. You might want to wear something that kind of blends in.
Yeah, that's a great point. You know, I was thinking about it. My son says he's wearing all black. I should wear all tan because it's a field. Everything's all tan now. It's an old cornfield. You're right. I should wear something like all tan. I want to wear one of them sniper outfits that you know how the snipers wear that thing, Grizz, with like all the leaves and all that other kind of stuff.
You want a ghillie suit?
I want a ghillie suit. Yeah. I need a ghillie suit that's big because I'm kind of big.
I've seen like airsoft dudes wear them. Yeah.
Looks like a baked potato. Okay.
Yeah, I would. That's a good point. That's what I need.
Yeah. So that sounds. Oh, listen, I just finished my a butler rack. You know what a butler rack is?
Kind of. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's where it's one of those wooden, real nice. Yeah. Looks like a hanger that sits up by itself on your floor, stands up, and you put your coat on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Some people would call it a coat rack.
We did it, dude. Looks like brand new. So anyway.
Some people will call that a coat rack.
A coat rack. No, that's also a butler rack. Anyway, George Hilo, if you remember the guy's name, he was a linebacker coach for Michigan Wolverines, and now he's an Alabama linebacker.
Yeah, he is. Well, he's not a linebacker coach. They don't know what he's.
He's a spy.
They don't know.
Tom, you're going to have another spy.
They don't know what he's doing now. He's not going to be an on-the-field coach. Well, yeah, he's sharing info. There's no doubt he's going to share. The guys do that all the time. But he hasn't been in Michigan for a year, and he's not going to be on the field coaching. He's just on his staff as a consultant.
Well, there's no reason. I still told you the wrong team is favored, and Bama should win the game. But for some reason, if we get lucky to win that game, I can hear it now. Oh, that linebacker coach from Michigan was a spy.
You think they should be a big favorite?
Alabama should be to a 7 to a 10-point favorite over us, period. Exactly. Here, Tom, I'm covering my butt, okay? Because if we win the game, it's wonderful. If we lose, I already said that. So what? You know what I'm saying? That is what it
but
is.
if you win, you want it to be an upset. If you win, it's a. You want to say it's an upset. If you're the favorite, if you get beat, you got upset. You're the favorite in that game.
I shouldn't be the favorite. I told you that, okay? But if I win, oh boy.
We'll never hear the end of it.
With that said, let's move on to the trifecta.
All right, the Falcons -3.5 at Carolina.
Give me the Grizz.
The Falcons are headed to the Super Bowl.
Houston gets 3.5 at the Oilers.
I'll take Tennessee.
When you say the Oilers, you're talking Super Bowl.
The Cowboys get 1.5 at the Bills.
I'm not about those Cowboys. I'll go with the Buffalo Bills.
Bills make me wanna shout, kick your heels up and shout, throw your hands up and shout.
And in the bonus, the Bears get 3.5 at Cleveland.
Well, I talked to Larry about that game, and we both agree, consensus, Cleveland.
Chubb's a man.
All right, we got you in.
All right, brother. Hey, listen.
Yeah.
Just like a baked potato, you'll be fine.
I'll just like a baked potato. That's what I need to do. I'm going to ghillie suit. All right. All right, let me talk to Crawdad. Got to get a break in here. Oh, Merrill's at 12:30.
Hey.
Okay, so I got a minute. Okay, Crawdad, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, real quick, I'll tell you about YouTube and why to go that way. First of all, unlimited DVR space. There's no, you've got 2% left or any nonsense like that. Really good. But the best feature on sports is this. Is if you're watching college football, let's say you turn on the Alabama game and you push the down arrow once, a little feature pops up where there's a multi-screen with all the college games that are on at that time, and it shows them all at the same time, and then you just move the cursor to the one you want to watch, and it goes right to it.
Oh, is that right? I was told that they picked the 4 games, that if you want the 4 screen on the games, that you can't pick which 4 games you want. It just automatically puts 4 games up there, but you can't determine the 4. Can you determine the 4 games you want in the box?
Yes, you can. All you got to do is go look at them one time, and it'll program them in there. And then when you push the down arrow, the 4 you looked at are the ones that are going to pop up. And that's great, man. That's a superb feature. And the only thing you cannot do, and you can't do this on Hulu either, I'm pretty sure, is you can't go from the streaming features on YouTube TV, like Amazon Prime, for an example, and go rapidly to the YouTube main menu. But YouTube is the way to go. It's very inexpensive. I think it's like $59 a month. I swear by it.
Can you pause the game? You have those kind of features. You can back up, fast forward. Because when I watch a game on Prime, like last night, when I watch those games on Prime, I can't pause it. I can't back up. I can't DVR it. I can't do anything.
Well, you can't do that on virtually any streaming thing, but on Amazon, on the YouTube games, you can pause them. You can go get a cold beer, whatever you want to do.
But you can't put them in the DVR. You're saying
you can archive.
No, you can put them in the DVR. You can put anything
okay.
you want. You cannot put streaming stuff in the DVR, and you can't do that probably on any feature.
Well, wait a minute. It is streaming. It's YouTube TV. Can I DVR a game I'm watching on YouTube?
Yeah.
Can I just record it? All right.
You can
well,
do
that's streaming.
anything on YouTube. Now, you can do anything on YouTube TV. What I'm talking about streaming is if you have a separate app like Prime Video or Netflix or something like that, you can't put those apps in the DVR. But anything that's on YouTube TV, you can put in the DVR.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because I think of YouTube TV as being a streaming service, basically. But
well, it is. It is. It's different though. It's different from the. It's not an app. It's different from the apps.
And all the ESPNs. Can I get all the ESPNs?
You can get all the ESPNs on YouTube TV, with the exception of ESPN Plus. You have to go to the ESPN app.
Yeah, that's all right. That's okay. That's all right. I want to, and then I can get my baseball app for baseball or the NHL app for that. Okay. All right. Good job. Good job by you. I appreciate it. Grumpy also says YouTube TV.
I think you also can get Big Ten Network. You can get the ACC network
get
as well.
The SEC network. I don't care what the ACC.
You get the SEC network. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. All right, let me get a break. Brandon, sit tight. We'll get there. Let me get a break, though, because we got Steve Merril standing by. We got to grab him next, right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold-certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
With us today, Dr. Tracy Lowry of Best Vein Care of Huntsville.
When we evaluate a patient and they indeed have significant venous disease, most third-party payers, private insurance, Medicare, require us to treat every patient conservatively at least 90 days. Conservative treatment includes increasing ambulation, elevation of the legs, and the wearing of compression stockings. It's very common for folks to come see us in March or April wanting to have their veins fixed before they go into swimsuits starting in June. When we see someone in March or April, they're going to require at least 90 days of conservative treatment before we can even go to the insurance carrier to get permission to treat their veins. So if you think you have a venous problem, now is the time to come in and get a free screening so we can determine whether or not you need something evaluated. If you have a vein problem or you think you may have a vein problem, now's the time to contact us at bestveincarehuntsville.com.
Chapman Commercial Realty, your source for Alabama commercial real estate. Chapman Commercial Realty has the experience and expertise you're looking for when making commercial real estate decisions. If it's office space, retail space, investment property, or project development, Chapman Commercial Realty is your answer. Call Bill Chapman today at 256-656-8413. That's 256-656-8413. Or find them online at chapmancommercialrealty.com.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
I'm with Thomas here from Talent Heating and Air. Thomas, you guys are a premier North Alabama locally owned heating and air company.
We pride ourselves in being deep in the community, helping customers with solutions that they can use to keep their house comfortable. We provide emergency services. You can reach us on our website at talenthvac.com, or you can call us at 256-503-4490.
Talent Heating and Air, let them put their talent to work for you.
AL cert number 21014.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead ran away and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
Listen to the Bama Recap Show each Sunday morning at 11, presented by Freedom Marine Center. on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
No, it's Friday, baby. Wait a minute. It's Friday. What are we doing? What happened to football music? It's Friday. You knucklehead. You're supposed to have football music on a Friday. Oh, man. That was so good. When the show's over, I'm going to just put Freebird on my headphones. That's what I'm going to do. Just going to go down that road. Daryl says YouTube can also take the game and show only key plays and watch the game shorter. Okay. All right, so I'm getting a lot of YouTube love here. See, the boss swears by Hulu. I think he made a mistake. He says that if you like sports, you should do Hulu. This thing about putting 4 games up there at once. All right, I'm going to get YouTube TV. I'm going to get YouTube TV this afternoon. That's what I'm going to do. I mean, let me ask you a question. What's the point of having a Comcast if you got YouTube TV?
No point.
So there's no sense still having a Comcast?
No.
Especially if I got smart TVs, or I can cast to the TV from my phone. I got one older TV, but I can get it on my phone and just send it up to the TV and use my phone as a remote. I'm doing YouTube TV. I'm excited about this. All right, this segment of the show is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford. The service team at Woody Anderson Ford is not only experts in the service of Ford and other makes, they also use genuine Ford and Motorcraft parts on every Ford service job. It's Woody Anderson Ford. Check them out, corner of Sparkman and Jordan Lane, WoodyAndersonFord.com. It's the only place I've gone to in the Tennessee Valley since 2004. All right, are we still waiting for the Steve Merril? All right, let's go ahead and do Brandon. We'll try and do a quicker Brandon, just in case we get to Steve Merril in. And Brandon joins us now. Brandon, welcome to the show. How are you?
Man, Coney Island's closing after 137 years in business at the end of the month.
Okay. Today's random fact. I need to have a sounder for, like, the random fact of the day. And whoever comes up with the most random fact of the day, it'll be like...
We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
No, we just have to come up with something that's, like, totally random. And then every day we'll see who comes up with the best random fact. When they call in, the first thing they'll say is, like, Coney Island's closing. Coney Island's really closing?
Yes, and they were talking about in 2025 would have been the 100th year anniversary of their pool being built.
How do you close Coney Island?
Somebody bought it with a lot of money.
I mean, Coney Island?
It's an institution.
Big time institution. Yeah.
I mean, I think Coney Island's been around longer than Hawaii and Alaska have been states, correct?
Oh, yeah. Well, Hawaii and Alaska came in when I came in. Hawaii and Alaska came in right before me. So they came in, and then I came in. And, like, they were in 59, and I came in 60. I think I might have just made that up. Grizz is a history buff. Grizz, 59 for Hawaii and Alaska?
Oh, I can't remember.
Grizz should know. He's a history buff. All right. We're going to put Brandon back on hold. Can you do that? Oh, you can't do that, can you? Why can't you do that? You can do that. All right. Put Brandon back on hold. Let me talk to Steve Merril for a minute here. Steve has been very hard to get a hold of. I don't know what's going on. He's big-timing me the last couple of days. Steve Merril joins us now from WagerTalk TV on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Steve, I mean, am I that far down on the list now that we start calling you yesterday at 1:30 and we get you today at 12:30? I mean, what's up with that?
Yeah, the college basketball show ran long yesterday. There were 7 games on the board, so I thought it'd be a quick show. But then we did a whole season recap, underrated, overrated teams, and it ran for about 45 minutes. So, yeah, busy time of the year. 4 major sports going right now. College bowls kick off tomorrow. NFL, college basketball, NBA. Great time to make some money, though, as a sports bettor.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And I was told Steve would be on the phone, and then there I'm looking at him on WZZN TV with me, so I don't know what the hell is going on.
I had to give you a little Christmas gift early here. You get the video and the audio.
I see it. All right, give us a bowl strategy. All right, 41 bowl games start tomorrow. I have now picked every single one of them, not against the spread, just in our ESPN contest to pick against our fans, our listeners. But give us a bowl strategy as to how we should approach these. We know most of the opt-outs now. We should be kind of clear of that, I guess. But tell us a little bit about how you approach the bowl games.
Well, the key to handicapping the bowls is motivation. You got to figure out which teams are ready to play. But now it's trickier than ever because over the last several seasons with the transfer portal, with not having to sit out a year when you transfer from a Division 1A to another 1A school, FBS to FBS, it's made it even more difficult. Plus, guys now sit out because of NFL status. I mean, even guys are going to sit out of playoff games. We even see that starting to happen. So it's a new world. I use the analogy, though, of handicapping the NFL preseason. You know, it's ironic that we don't have a college football preseason, but handicapping the end of this season is just like handicapping the beginning of the NFL season in August. It's all about motivation, which teams are playing to win, and who's playing quarterback and who's in the lineup, basically. And that's how you have to handicap this. So pretty much have to throw the numbers out the window because it's not apples to apples. The regular season stats don't always transfer, but there's still great opportunity, some under-the-radar selections for that reason. In general, usually want to look at dogs in the over in these early minor bowl games because there is less motivation. They're usually mediocre teams that are out there not necessarily caring too much about the game. But once again, a lot of these teams are missing starting quarterbacks, you know, so it gets tricky because nobody knows how good the backup is when you've never seen him take any snaps. College football handicapping the bowls is definitely a tricky endeavor, but there are opportunities out there still.
I would feel like there are certain things that you can look at in terms of for example, I'm going to just say this. I like Jacksonville State tomorrow against Louisiana Lafayette because it's Rich Rod, and this is the first time Jacksonville State is playing in a bowl game. You know what I mean? They've moved up to 1A, and I don't even think they were going to be allowed to play, but there was not enough teams, all that stuff. James Madison is another one that you look at like that. Those kids are extremely excited about going to New Orleans and playing in that bowl game. Now, Louisiana Lafayette, don't call us Lafayette. They are, you know, they've done this before. They're playing closer to home, obviously. But, you know, I look at games like that, and then I also kind of handicap coaches a little bit, right? I mean, who's lost their coach? Who's playing with Troy, with John Summerall? Is he going to be there? He's not going to be there. Coaching a bowl game. He's not going to coach a bowl game, so he's not going to be there. And you wonder how teams will play without their coaches. So those are kind of little things I like to look at as well.
Right. It goes back to, like I said, the number one rule handicapping bowl games is motivation. You want to make sure the teams want to be there. They want to play. They want to be focused. And I think the transfer portal and the opt-outs kind of give you a hint at that, right? When a team doesn't have a lot of opt-outs or transfers, they're probably taking the game serious. That is the case with Jacksonville State. I think their place kickers, the only guy that entered the transfer portal. Louisiana's Lafayette's a team is pretty much intact as well. But I agree. I will say there's an angle that works well in bowls, though. Ralph Michaels, my colleague at WagerTalk today, we pointed this out earlier this week. If you blindly play on 6-win teams that are playing a team that has 7 or more wins, you've hit over 60% for over the last decade. So Lafayette does qualify in that angle. And the logic there is pretty simple. If a team is in with 6 wins, they're probably happy to be in any bowl game. They're just happy to make it. Whereas a team with 7 or 8 wins like Jacksonville State maybe had bigger aspirations. But like you said, Tom, I don't think that's the case in this game. I do agree. I think Jacksonville State's the more excited team, their first bowl game ever. Whereas Louisiana Lafayette, I think a third of all the New Orleans bowls they've been in. So I think this is one of those situations where that angle does not apply.
I love Auburn against Maryland. Again, Hugh Freeze taking Auburn back to the bowl game, and you know, he's a first-year coach. He's trying to build something. He's got a top 10 recruiting class coming in later in the. Well, he'll probably have had that mostly signed by the time the game is played and so on. There's a lot of buzz there, so you know, that's another situation right there. Not that Mike Loxley and Maryland, you know, they haven't done a nice job. Certainly they have, but. You know, I really like Hugh Freeze and Auburn, you know, in the Music City Bowl, for example.
Yeah, and I think that's another benefit of the bowl games. You know, a lot of people are like, with these guys opting out, the transfer portals, why do teams want to play in these games? Well, they do still get 3 or 4 more weeks of practice, and it is a reward, obviously. You get to, you know, somewhat go have a vacation for the most part. And that's another reason you got to check the motivation. You got to make sure these teams are somewhat taking it serious. But I think Auburn is a good example of a team that can maybe benefit here from having a little more work. And you do think that Maryland maybe, looked like they were starting to wear down a bit as the season progressed. This is a Maryland team that at times looked pretty competitive, but then down the stretch this year, they did cover their final 3 games, but they lost 2 of their last 4. 3 of those 4 went over, by the way. Their defense really looked like it was wearing out. They gave up 31 or more in 2 of those final 4 games, including 51 against Penn State. So, yeah, I think it's a spot where Auburn can come in and be competitive. And Auburn also another one of those 6-6 teams playing a 7-win or more team, so they do fit that 60% subset.
Steve Merril with us here talking about some of the games that are coming up for sure. All right, last night we always talk about how sharp the handicapping could be in a number and how Vegas does such a great job with it. But last night, this was almost kind of hilarious. That game opened at 42.5 on a back number. It went down to 36. So there was a lot of 36s by the time that ball kicked off last night. Vegas was a 3-point favorite. The over-under was 36. They scored 0 the week before, and now they're averaging 31.5 points over the last 2 games. It's almost comical. I mean, it's not comical for Brandon Staley, who finally got fired. 84 points in that game last night, though. I mean, that was just it was almost over by 5 or 6 minutes into the second quarter. That was ridiculous. I hope you didn't have the under on that one last night.
Well, first of all, the look-ahead line was 42.5. You're correct. And the Chargers look-ahead line last week was -4, but then Herbert's out. Yeah. And the Raiders become a 3-point favorite. So over a 7-point move on the spread. But keep in mind, that line didn't necessarily go down to 36. It actually went up to 36. And the reason I say that is because earlier this week on Monday, the line was 33.5.
Oh, my. Oh.
Yeah. Okay. And then it went to 34.5 a couple of days ago, and then went up to 36 yesterday. So there was actually a lot of money on the over last night, and definitely some sharp money because the 42.5 down to 33 was basically a blind move because of the injury situation. And also keep in mind, the Raiders had lost 3-0 last week. The lowest score, only the 7th time ever since the Super Bowl began that we had a 3-0 game, and they come out and put up 63 after being shut out. Really remarkable. And I think the big takeaway was there were some inklings that the Chargers had quit on the season. Obviously, losing Herbert, I think was the final nail in the coffin. You do have to wonder about the coaching change situation, if that maybe sparks them, but I'd be very careful playing the Chargers going forward. They led a team that could not score the previous week. It was averaging about 17 points on the season, score 63. That is not a good sign.
I think their defense scored, 28 points or something in that game. It was ridiculous. All right, some of the games the guys are picking today, just give them a little help with that. A very confusing game going to happen in Nashville because Houston is playing the Oilers, and that's just weird. It's just trolling is what it is by the Oilers. The problem for Houston is that they go in there without C.J. Stroud. That number flipped, I think, 5 points or so. I mean, the Oilers – the Titans, who are the Oilers this week, they were a small underdog, a 2 or 3 point underdog, and that now they're a 3.5 point favorite. All about C.J. Stroud, even though Houston does have a semi kind of veteran little quarterback coming in there. What do you think about Houston getting points at the Oilers?
Yeah, plus, I mean, the fact that it's Texans and Titans always confuses me as well. I mix that up all the time. And then I've been calling the Chargers San Diego for the last year or so. I joked last night we had Jim
the Colts Baltimore sometimes. I still call them the Baltimore Colts every once in a while. Here's
what's even worse. Baltimore and Cleveland play twice every year, right?
Yeah.
So we get that same situation as well with this 2 divisions. I mean, not only do they put the team that used to be the team in the same division, it's just ridiculous. But anyway, the look ahead a week ago was going to be Houston -3.5. Now they're +3.5. So pretty big difference here. It's kind of like handicapping the bowl games. We just don't know what to make of these situations when you have personnel issues. 42.5 was the look ahead total, down to 37. There are some 36.5s. I point that out because 37 is a very key total. About a 4 to 5% chance games land on 37.
The team that should be in the AFC North with Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Cincinnati is the Buffalo Bills. And I would trade the Bills for the Ravens in a heartbeat. Ravens should be on the coast, with the AFC East, with those teams over there, the Jets and the Dolphins and so on. So I wish the Bills would be in the North. Now they get here's a 6-7 team, or are they 7-6, a 7-6 team. And they're a 1.5 point favorite over the Cowboys, who are 10-3. And I like the Bills in the game. I mean, it's crazy. But give me a thought on that one.
I like the Bills as well. I'm going to do my NFL Fade the Public video later this afternoon on Friday. So check that out on WagerTalk TV. It'll be up probably tonight or by this weekend. And it does look like Dallas is a public dog. I'll have the official metrics on that, but I did an advanced video on WagerTalk TV for this game earlier this week, and I mentioned I like Buffalo. I think it's a tough spot for Dallas. A huge win for them on Sunday night against the Eagles. I had a best bet on them. I thought it was a good bounce-back spot after losing at Philly. I also think Philly is a bit phony right now. Buffalo, meanwhile, quality win at KC, can mention that, hey, maybe they're in the letdown spot, but I don't think they are. They're still fighting for their playoff lives. At 7-6 now, they're at a 49% chance of making the playoffs. There's bettable odds on that right now. -104, yes. -116, no. But I think they win this week, and they'll be above 50% to make the playoffs after the win.
All right. Give me one. Give me a cheapie here. I don't understand why the Browns are only a 3.5 point favorite, 2.5, 3 point favorite over the Bears. What have the Bears done? I know they've won a couple of games, but what has given any kind of indication that the Bears are going to be able to go in there and do anything against that ridiculous Cleveland defense? And Joe Flacco just got signed for a regular real NFL contract, not a practice squad kind of guy contract. I would think that he's feeling kind of good right before Christmas. I just don't see how the Browns will win that game going away.
Yeah, I mean, the Bears have not failed to cover 5 straight games. They're 4-0-1 against the spread the last 5. So I think that's part of the reason the line is deflated a bit. They've forced 11 turnovers in their last 3 spread wins. So a little bit misleading. 2 of those came against bad Detroit defenses, of course. Fields has played better since returning from injury about a month ago. But he'll be facing one of the best pass defenses in the NFL here. So this is definitely a step up in class for Chicago this week.
All right. Always a pleasure. Steve Merrill's been our guest. Thanks, Steve.
Hey, thanks, guys.
All right. We'll get a break. When we come back, we'll let Brandon finish up and get his picks in right after this on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Philip Love of not only Eagle Insulation, now he represents Eagle companies. Eagle through the years have added several companies to help individuals or builders through their construction renovation process. Eagle is known to represent quality, efficiency, and professionalism. Philip, I know you do insulation, but do you do masonry?
We do.
Do you do grading, erosion control, and dirt hauled off?
We do.
Do you do after paint, which includes shower doors, mirrors, shelving blinds, and bath hardware?
Yes, we do, Wes.
Do you do landscaping and irrigation?
Yes, we do.
So basically, Eagle can help you all along your process of building your house or doing renovations. So do you do plumbing?
We do not, Wes, but we can find somebody to do it.
Just give them time. They'll be there. Anyway, call Eagle Insulation at
256-755-1556.
Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Call Eagle today.
Thanks, Wes.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Everyone loves Nashville right now. It's the perfect family getaway, but it isn't just known for its food, bright lights, and music. It's also known for football. The Trans-Perfect Music City Bowl is coming to Nissan Stadium on December 30th. Come see Auburn versus Maryland right here in Music City. The music, the food, the fun. Spend your weekend in Nashville. It's your family's perfect start to the new year. Tickets are available now at MusicCityBowl.com and on SeatGeek. Brought to you by Tennessee Lottery.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer here to enjoy another great football season with y'all. And guess what? The salmon are running, so make sure you try our delicious lemon garlic salmon. And for you land lovers, try our sizzling char grill flat iron Callaway steak complemented with our special shrimp etouffee. And you'll definitely want to tackle our Alabama hot chicken smothered in our zesty and tangy immune boosting special Alabama hot sauce. Baumhauer's legendary fun and legendary food.
Coming up on Wednesday is our annual Christmas party at Flow Supreme Air Sports, presented by Eagle Insulation and Masonry, plus Talent Heating and Air, with food provided by Bubby's Diner. So come on by and bring a toy as we collect toys for the Boys and Girls Club of North Alabama. So bring a toy and join in the fun at Flow on Wednesday. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas from 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hi, this is Eli Gold, voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Join us every week for Alabama football right here.
Listen to Alabama football all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Welcome back, Tom Abraham Show. Segment brought to you by Valley Equipment Rental. Don't forget, if you rent this afternoon, you get to keep your equipment through Monday at 8 a.m. Get a lot of work done this weekend with Valley Equipment Rental. The weather is going to be beautiful. They got 2 locations, North and South Parkway. This is the weekend to get out there with that skid steer or that mini excavator or whatever it is that you need to get the job done. Don't forget as well, you contractors out there, they've got the big-time excavators and dozers and all of that stuff. You'll find that mostly at the North location as well. And then they've got all those, another great thing about Valley Equipment is all those pieces of equipment that you need that you don't necessarily keep in your cache. You can get them at Valley Equipment, use it for the day, whatever you need it for, and then get it back to Valley, and you're not making a purchase on something that you may never use. All right, let's finish up Brandon. Brandon, all right, continue your message. You got caught up right in the middle of the Steve Merril deal.
I was saying that the Cincinnati Symphony Orchestra is who bought Coney Island, and they're closing it down, and they're going to transform it into some kind of event center.
All right.
Really strange to see something that's been an American institution that long being gone. It was just no notice whatsoever.
Yeah. No,
Did you ever take Mrs. Abraham there?
No. I went there once myself when I was young, but not with Ellen.
Well, I'm interested to get some of these picks, and so are you doing bowl game picks next Friday?
Yeah, we got our bowl contest, for that's a whole different thing. We got the whole bowl contest for the radio station. That is up right now. If you're not in that thing, get in that thing. The links are all at our social media, so you can get in there. You've been invited, and you can go ahead and get in that. But next Friday's trifecta will be all bowl games, and then the following Friday's trifecta will be all bowl games. So we're doing NFL today. Next 2 weeks of trifectas will be bowl games.
Okay, and what is the grand prize on our bowl extravaganza if you pick all the games?
We've got first place on that is a overnight stay in a cliffside room at the Gunnersville State Park, plus dinner at the Pinecrest Room and golf at Gunners Landing. Second place is a foursome at Cherokee Ridge, and third place wins food at Bubby's Diner, Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, and Corjalejos.
That third place prize ain't too bad.
No, none of it's bad. It's all good stuff. Just go to the Facebook page, 97.7 ESPN Facebook page, or on Twitter. You'll find it there, and you can go ahead and get joined. Get in it.
Well, let's do some picks.
I'll tell you what. We're not going to be able to get them in here because the music's going to fire here in a second, but we'll see if we can put you back on hold, and Grizz can get them, or you can go ahead and text them to me. And there is the music.
So you roll tide.
All right, beautiful. Appreciate you. All right, when we come back, Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com. He's next. This is the Tom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Christine Lisi. Coach Brandon Staley not expecting anything new when he meets with Chargers ownership today, as he always does after a game. Last night, though, not just any game, a 42-point loss to the Raiders, one of the worst in franchise history. Staley also said afterwards last night he was confident his players still believed in him and he deserved to continue as head coach. The only time the Chargers ever fired a head coach midseason, Kevin Gilbride, a quarter of a century ago. NBA Timberwolves center Rudy Gobert expressed concern for Warriors forward Draymond Green in the wake of his indefinite suspension, told ESPN's Tim McMahon he feels empathy for Green, sees somebody not well inside and suffering. Green previously suspended this season for putting Gobert in a headlock. NBA doubleheader, Spurs try to snap an 18-game losing streak when they welcome the Lakers. Then it's the Knicks and Suns. Coverage at 7 Eastern, ESPN.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
If you're the kind of value shopper who waits until the end of the year because you know that's when the best deals are, it's here. And there's no first payment for 90 days. Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford's Make the Holiday Bright sales event. And we've got the best selection of new and certified pre-owned Fords we've had in years. Right now, get financing as low as 2.9% for up to 72 months on 23 F-150. America's best-selling truck for 47 years. 2.9 for 72 on F-150. And Woody Anderson Ford has over 100 F-150s to choose from. Great finance rates and no first payment for 90 days. We have financing as low as 0% for up to 60 months on 23 Explorer, Escape, and with Bronco Sport, you get an additional $1,500 bonus cash. Year end is the best time of year to buy, plus no payments for 90 days. With your good credit through Ford Motor Credit, this offer ends December 30th. Come make your holidays bright at Woody Anderson Ford. We hope to see you soon.
Tom Abraham here from my friends at North Alabama Mortgage. Did you know that average home equity is at an all-time high? But so is average consumer debt. Even though rates are higher now, you can use your equity to pay off your high consumer debt, student loans, etc., then refi when the rates drop. Don't put off that new home purchase. When rates drop, prices will go up. Buy now and get the best price and then refi when the rates drop. This is the time to talk to the experts at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com for more information.
You've got it locked on your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Nick Saban Show. This is Eli Gold, and this is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The opinions of Tom Abraham are not necessarily the opinions of the radio station or anybody associated with the radio station or ownership. These are strictly his own opinions, and sometimes they're not even his opinions.
You need to be more like a dog. Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about. Be a dog. God bless the show. You are the Messiah. We need more dogs. This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. Hey, I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live, here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby!
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Thom Abraham Show. This segment brought to you by Pond Lahaki Giordano. That's right, for all of your injury needs, whether it's been a work accident or maybe a motor vehicle accident or slip and fall accident. Pond Lahaki Giordano has got you covered. Not just excellent attorneys, but true advocates who will fight for you and know the ins and outs of the legal game. Contact Pond Lahaki at 855-774-3838. It's 855-774-3838 or pondlahaki.com. All right, just cleaning up a little bit of business from the first hour of the show. Yes, in fact, the states of Alaska and Hawaii do predate the big dog. All right, as I said, they were around longer than me. They came in at 1959. I don't come in until 1960. Okay, so that takes care of that business, which we commented on earlier. And I am getting mostly positive reviews for YouTube TV vis-a-vis Hulu TV, all right? Because I'm going to cut the cord, and I need to know where to go, and you guys are saying YouTube instead of Hulu. So if that's the case, that's the way I'm going to go. I'm going to take your recommendation on that as well. All right, maybe Lee Sterling has a recommendation. I mean, he has to watch a lot of games. He's got a wall of TVs going on, and I might build something like that myself. He joins us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Lee, of course, ParamountSports.com. Lee, welcome in. How are you?
I'm great, and I do have a recommendation, and I researched it while my wife did thoroughly. Believe it or not, I'm only allowed to change light bulbs, and I'm the pool man. That's it.
Okay. All right.
So we switched over after last football season to YouTube TV, and it's been fabulous.
Wow, okay. All right, I like that.
Cheaper. The only negative, live betting. It's about 35 to 45 seconds behind. I used to. Were you with DirecTV before?
I used to be with DirecTV years ago, and I've been with Comcast the last probably 8 years now.
You'll like it much better than Comcast. At least Comcast in my neighborhood. So
yeah. Okay.
I think it's the way to go, and it's by far the cheapest too.
Can you navigate the channels once you're in the YouTube TV app?
Yeah.
Is it easy to change channels? So it's not like changing, because right now, like if I'm on Comcast and I want to watch that game last night on Prime, it takes me like a half an hour for it to load up the Prime and all that stuff.
So once you get to once you can navigate it, it's not as easy. Now I used to memorize the channels, or I would make a guide. I would write out a guide.
Right.
And let's say the NFL schedule, it used to be on DirecTV on the 700s.
Right.
I would put, let's say, 12 noon. I would put Indianapolis versus Cincinnati 7:05, and I would write out all the channels. So I just have to punch in the number. That's all you had to do. It takes another second or two longer than that because you've got to navigate it with your thumb and scroll over to the actual game.
Yeah.
But if you can't do it in less than 7 or 8 seconds, I feel sorry for you.
So it doesn't have that last feature, though, like where you click last and it shows everything that you're watching the last 6 or 8.
I don't think there is a last. At least I haven't figured out. But I am, after like a week or two doing the NFL and college football, felt very comfortable. So I think
you like that do you get that 4-screen thing going ever? Do you like have multiple games on one screen?
It is great. So I love it.
I'm going.
So there are some times, actually, I can't watch 8 or 9 games, but I will usually put the red zone up top, and sometimes I'll just make it a three screen. I'll do.
Oh, you have a choice. You have a choice to make it. It doesn't. It can be side by each.
You can do the volume on any one of the 4 screens you want, also.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it right after the show. I'm gonna get YouTube
and
TV.
If your TVs are big enough, I mean, it's big enough to see what's going on. 1 o'clock games is where you need. You really don't need it for the 12 o'clocks. You don't need it for the 3 o'clock games because not enough games.
College football though on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it'd be great. College football on Saturday, tremendous.
But
right,
sometimes you do have to scroll to find the right 4 games you want.
Right. Okay. I thought that I thought they force fed you 4 games. I didn't realize you could pick the games that you want once you find them.
There's probably 7 or 8 different 4-game boxes you can choose from.
Nice. All right. Speaking of college, let's take a look. This is our bowl spectacular, if you will. We won't have Lee again until the Super Bowl, so he's going to give us some picks on some games that are coming. Before we get to this, I'm going to ask you the same question I've asked other handicappers. A bowl strategy. What is your strategy going into the bowls? Because we've got opt-outs, and now I think that's quieted down. We know pretty much who's playing and who's not playing. But what is your strategy in determining motivation and things like that?
So it has made it a little bit tougher. Actually, I don't know if it's made it tougher. Just it used to take me 20, 25 minutes to do a bowl game, 8, 10 years ago. It takes me 25, 30 minutes just to fill out my 2-deep roster now for the bowl. I would say, well, obviously motivation is one. I usually look to underdogs if I'm not sure on a game early, usually before the 30th, 31st, through the 30th. And then it usually flips over to favorites, usually.
I like teams that are playing in their first bowl game, like Jacksonville State tomorrow is very highly motivated, going to be very excited. Rich Rod and all that stuff.
I have four systems. Mm-hmm. You know what? Let me give you a game that falls in line. It's not a game we're covering. It falls in line of two of my four systems.
Yeah.
It's Northwestern. They're the only team. So one of the systems is teams that won 0 to 3 games in 2022.
The year before, yeah.
Or 25% or less the prior season and qualified for a bowl game. The next season, they're 34, 12, and 2. That's almost 74%.
I can see that.
Northwestern is one of those teams, one of 6 teams. Then the system number 2, they are the only team that qualifies for this. Teams that improve by 6 wins or by 50% of the wins the year before are 17-7, 71%.
Mm-hmm.
Going 4-1 last year. That's Northwestern. That's it. So Northwestern's play.
Yeah. All right. So in line with that, the one I want to talk about first, it's not quite those percentages, but right. Auburn. That's Auburn's minus 2.5 against Maryland, and they're a team that improved. The number doesn't sound a lot. 5-7 to 6-6, but it feels like they're a lot better than last year. They should have been 7-5 at worst. With the New Mexico State debacle. But you got a new coach. Setting the pace. He's going to have a big recruiting class. By the time this game is played, he'll have a top 10 recruiting class, and they're minus 2.5 against Maryland, right in Nashville in the TransPerfect Music City Bowl. What are you thinking there?
So sometimes if you see I see a cluster, let's say 2 or 3 offensive linemen on a team, or the top 2 or 3 tacklers on a team aren't playing, that's another thing. But every kid's playing that was a starter in this bowl game. I'm watching Maryland, and the notes that I write over and over again, they can't beat a good team.
Yep.
They will play well for a quarter, a half, once in a while 3 quarters, and then they falter. But they beat the teams that they're better than, the more talented than. And they're able to throw. Tua's brother, he is great against mediocre and bad teams. Against good teams, awful. He gets intercepted 2 or more times every single game, practically.
Yeah.
I like Maryland here. I think they win and cover 35-24.
So you're saying that you don't think Auburn's a very good team, then?
No,
I thought you were going to say so you don't think they're a good team. So this is Maryland going against the average team.
I don't think. I think they have too many holes.
All right, LSU. Stick with the SEC now. LSU, Wisconsin. Interesting game here. Jaden Daniels. I guess Jaden Daniels is playing, right? He didn't become the first Heisman Trophy.
Let's Tom. He and Marvin Harrison. If they don't opt out, they should fire their agent.
See, I disagree, man. I think you got to finish. Because Bryce Young and Will Anderson played last year.
I'm all for guys finishing, Tom, but
finish your season.
Let's be honest. If they get hurt, they're dropping 10 spots.
Okay, then why didn't he opt out after they lost their 3rd game? Why did you just stop playing then?
I have no idea.
In the middle of the season. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I give the kid credit. I give him credit, but I'll bet you money that both guys opt out.
It's never happened. We've never had a Heisman Trophy winner opt out in the year that they won the Heisman Trophy. So
that's my opinion.
Yeah, it could be the first. So, but right now the number's 9.5. They were anticipating he's playing. Are we kind of betting on the opt out? What do you think? LSU minus 9.5 against Wisconsin.
I'm betting on the opt out. Tanner Mordecai, for some reason, I thought he was going to be a good fit for this system. Has not been great. But Braylon Allen, very underrated. I think he's going to be like Jonathan Taylor. I think he's going to be great in the NFL. Gains another 1,000 yards. Now, he gained over 1,200 yards each of the 2 previous seasons. But so under the radar here, we know LSU doesn't have a real good defensive front against the run. We know that, I think that Daniels is going to opt out. I think the line's going to close like 4.5. I'm taking Wisconsin. I think they win the game outright here, 31-23.
If he opts out, it's going to 3. I bet. It's going to crater if he opts out.
Yeah.
All right.
Who will play for LSU?
Oh, well, he's pretty good. Garrett Nussmeier. I mean, he didn't suck. He didn't suck.
Yeah. No, he didn't.
Tennessee is minus 8 against Iowa. who can't score.
I don't know how Iowa scores.
Yeah.
How do they score?
I didn't know how the Raiders would score after getting beat 3-0 last week, and they scored 1,000 points.
That was the first time in 5 years that I put a W, the win column. So I had a friend of mine. I haven't talked to him since that time. I think he's going to be on probation 2 more weeks. Of course, when the Dolphins went up 14, he goes, "Well, we got that game," and I'm like, "Oh, you just jinxed it." and after the game, he goes, "I guess I jinxed it." I'm not even responding to him. What do you think? 2, 3, or 4 week probation?
I think the rest of the college season, the bowl season, he's out. Okay. I wouldn't let him come back to the NFL playoffs.
He's begging. He's begging for me to return this text. I can't do it. So
yeah. When did you pencil in? When did you pencil in Raiders last night? When did you pencil in the over after it was 20? Oh, you waited till 42-0 to say Raiders?
Yeah.
You could have gone at the end of the first quarter and threw the W in there.
I could have, but I'm like I said, I'm superstitious. I waited until halftime. Felt pretty good laying 3.5. So I don't see how Iowa scores. The over/under, in my opinion, on points scored for them is 3.5. Just think that Tennessee is very patient and they don't beat themselves. I like Tennessee here, 26-10.
All right, now we're going to listen, guys. You are about to get picks over the air, free picks right now for the college football semifinals. I mean, a lot of times these guys, they come out and they talk about this game or that game, and they want to talk about the Bahamas Bowl or something. And we're going to get picks right now for the Sugar Bowl and the Rose Bowl. And let's start in the Sugar Bowl. Texas is -4. Feels weird. It feels like Washington should be in the in the Rose Bowl in Texas. And anyway, Texas is -4, 4.5. It's been holding against Washington. I thought this line would be moving by now. It hasn't moved. What do you got?
I think it's going to close at 5, but I think this is the easier of the two games to predict. I think that Washington, for some reason, plays well against Oregon, but they've struggled. I mean, the last 7 games, they've won by 10 points or less. And I think they're going to have trouble running the football against Texas's defense, which gives up only 80 yards per game, number 4 in the country. They've become more balanced on offense, Washington, with Dylan Johnson running the football, but this Texas D is going to be really tough to move on. And then Texas offensive line's underrated. Quinn Ewers playing great. First game back, he wasn't amazing, but the last 2 games, he's been right on point. And it's going to be a home game. And it's going to be like 85-15 for his fans. I like Texas here, 38-28.
I thought you were saying that's what the score was going to be, which you never know. Could end up that too. All right, so we're in agreement on that one. All right, so this one here, this is going to be a problem for my listenership is going to absolutely crater if Michigan wins this football game against Alabama, because we have some very, very passionate Wolverine fans, 2 in particular, and then sometimes 3 or 4 passionate, who will become unbearably obnoxious if, in fact, Michigan beats Alabama. It will be, we won't hear the end of it for, I don't know, ever. I mean, I might retire. Right. Okay, if I might have to go.
But how many do you have? 2 or 3 passionate Michigan fans?
We have a couple that call every single week and we have our number one. We have a guy. I used to do a thing called the Tommy Awards, where we would give awards out, and a guy who he won it so many times is the number one homer is a guy we call Wolverine Dan, and Wolverine Dan it calls every day and talks about the Wolverines. He comes up with the minutia about how many times they've won 1,000 games and all that. They've won a half a national championship since 1948.
Did he go to Michigan?
No, he's from Detroit. He did not go to Michigan.
Oh, okay.
He's a sidewalk alumni. Anyway,
I have one friend that keeps telling me that he was the valedictorian of the business school.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
well,
don't you love those kind?
Yeah, well, he should be smart enough to know that Alabama's going to beat that ass, but maybe not. We'll see. Michigan's -1.5. This number, I'm surprised, is holding right now. Oh, by the way, this Wolverine Dan guy, I mean, and this is kind of absolutely hilarious. The Monday after the matchups came out, he said
Alabama should be to a 7 to a 10-point favorite over us, period.
That's what he said. So he's already setting the case for his big upset. Alabama should be a 7 to 10 point. He thinks they're rigging this thing by making Michigan the favorite. They're rigging it for Alabama to tick off Alabama, because really Alabama should be a 7 to 10 point favorite in the game. So what does Lee Sterling have to say about this game?
All right, so I have gone against Michigan each of the last 2 years big. One of my first notes, and I know Alabama's really improved a lot. I still don't think they're great. I think Michigan's defense is going to be good enough, and they're better than Georgia. And I love what the Michigan offense does. They are patient. They will go on 12, 14, 15-play drives, suck out 7, 8 minutes on those drives. I think Blake Corum is very underrated. At one point, I thought he was going to win the Heisman last year after 7 or 8 games. J.J. McCarthy makes all the throws. Potential first-rounder. I wouldn't take him, but he's a potential first-rounder. Michigan, though, only 26.3 penalty yards per game, which ranks number 1 in the country. Nick Saban is 8-20 against the spread versus teams that average 42 or fewer penalty yards per game. This is the toughest game I had to handicap. Almost any bowl. I think Michigan's going to win 27-20.
We definitely don't want to hear that. But I'll say this about it. I think Michigan will get some yards on the ground. I think they'll be able to run the ball some. Alabama, 17 touchdown passes of over 20 yards. Michigan, 5.
Right.
Michigan, they're going to force them to try and throw the ball downfield. Yeah, they're not explosive. Alabama is explosive. No. Michigan hasn't seen anything like the speed and size and agility that they're going to see out of Alabama.
That's usually been the downfall.
Yeah.
But not like playing 10 times, just one time.
Yeah. Well, I hear you. All right. So how do they get this Penn State-Ole Miss game? These two teams, by the way, if this was next year, these two teams would be in the playoff. These would be 2 lost teams, along with Oregon. We'd have 3 2-loss teams in the 12-team playoff if this was next year. Penn State plays Ole Miss, and they're minus 3.5, the Nittany Lions. How did we get this?
This is a really good game. Anyone wants to get it for free, be just one of the first 5 callers. I'm going to give you this game for free. Call 800-400-9741. 800-400-9741. You get this Penn State and Ole Miss game on me. I have a real strong feeling on one side of this game. And you want to hop on board, now's the time. We've only had 2 losing Sundays all season. That's it. Only 2 losing Sundays. We've won 12 out of 16 weeks overall. College football in the NFL. How about this? 3 weeks of the NFL. 36 bowl games from now through the 31st. We'll probably have something on 20 to 24 of them. Normally $397, just $197. One place, ParamountSports.com. And Tom, I want to wish you and your family, your staff, and all the listeners out there a happy and healthy holiday.
Appreciate it. Same thing to you. And I credit your courage to come into the state of Alabama and predict Michigan to beat Alabama. What did you say the score? What was the score again? It was what? 24.
I got to call it like I see it. I have to say this though. I did do the Michigan show yesterday morning. It's my first show.
Did you pick Alabama?
When I did pick Michigan, they did. I think one of the 2 hosts almost fell out of his seat. He was shocked.
What was the score you had?
I have 27-20.
27-20 Michigan. All right, Grizz, you marked it, right? You got it recorded. Yep. I know it's recorded and it's marked. My producer has it recorded. So we're going to play it on loop when Alabama whoops them next year.
Okay.
Instead of rawhide when you come on.
Also put it, now, I will say this. I think that Alabama's going to close the favorite. If you like Alabama, bet it right now. If you like Michigan, wait. I think Alabama's going to close a 1.5, 2-point favorite.
All the way to that. Okay, because I thought it might go to pick. You think it could flip. Okay.
Oh, I think it's going to go to Alabama being the favorite.
I can't believe it hasn't moved yet. I thought it would have moved immediately. But it's
give it time.
Just sitting there. Yeah. All right, man. All right. I appreciate you as always. Good stuff.
All right, take care.
All right, thank you. That's Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com. You got Stones. He's got Stones. He came into Alabama and said 27-20 Michigan.
Roll Tide.
That's what he should have said.
Should have played that for him.
Should have dropped that on him. But, handicappers, they come in all sizes and shapes.
Alabama should be to a 7 to a 10-point favorite over us.
I would go the opposite of that one.
That's true.
Did he vote? Was it this year or last year he said the Vikings were going to win the Super Bowl?
Well, he bet on them. He bet
This
on
year?
them to win no, that was last year.
Okay.
Because remember, he was out of his gourd because they were like 11-1.
Yeah.
Remember that? He was like, oh, my God, I'm cashing a ticket. I'm going to cash this ticket. I'm going to be rich. He was going to make like $80 or something. I'm going to make it. But, and then they fell up. I kept harassing him. I said, that's the worst 11-1 team I've ever seen on face of the yard.
They're a team
you got to be kidding me.
known for caving. They're 14-2 when they lost to the Falcons.
All right, we're going to take a break here.
14-1.
Am I going to have enough time during this break? I want to get up and walk around the studio. And by around the studio, I mean like outside. I want to get some fresh air. All right. So
Yeah, sure. We'll get you a 6-minute break. You're good.
No, I don't need. I don't want to do crazy. All right, phone lines go open if you want to call the radio show and get in on the Friday trifecta. It's a good one for you here today. A lot of you have made your picks here online. If you want to dispute what Lee Sterling said or confirm what Lee Sterling just said, I would be interested to hear from Auburn fans that listen to this show. Are you a Wolverine Dan fan now? Are you a Keith the Michigan fan now? Are you a Wolverine, what was that other guy's name? Wolverine JJ or something like that. Are you, because you hate Alabama, are you pulling for Michigan with the full understanding that if Michigan wins the game, this is going to be the most annoying place to be? Not just my show, every show, because Wolverine Dan will photobomb and call bomb all the shows every day for 365 days, singing the praises of how Michigan beat Alabama. Okay? That's all I'm saying. All right? So if you're an Auburn fan, are you pulling for Alabama just to not have to deal with that? Or are you still siding with the Wolverine people and so that there would be misery for the Tide? All right? So let us know how you feel about that. 256-576-4977, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Not looking or feeling your best? No energy for the things you like to do? Ready to look and feel younger? Make your appointment at Advanced Life Clinic, one of the region's foremost destinations for patients interested in looking and feeling their best. Specializing in advanced laser treatments and weight loss, male and female rejuvenation to offset the effects of aging, and more. See how Advanced Life Clinic can help you enjoy your life again. Call 256-882-6555 or log on advancedlifeclinic.com.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Everyone loves Nashville right now. It's the perfect family getaway, but it isn't just known for its food, bright lights, and music. It's also known for football. The Trans-Perfect Music City Bowl is coming to Nissan Stadium on December 30th. Come see Auburn versus Maryland right here in Music City. The music, the food, the fun. Spend your weekend in Nashville. It's your family's perfect start to the new year. Tickets are available now at MusicCityBowl.com and on SeatGeek. Brought to you by Tennessee Lottery.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance, to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
You want the right specialist for your recovery. At SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, we understand every body is different. Your muscles and bones are unique, as is your body. Our SportsMed specialists offer innovative treatments and minimally invasive procedures, allowing you to quickly return to the life you love. Locations in Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur, and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Improving performance, improving lives.
It's time to ring in the new year right.
Bama, a winner over the Georgia Bulldogs, claiming the SEC title.
It's the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Michigan Wolverines in the college football playoff semifinal at the Rose Bowl. Our coverage starts at 1 on New Year's Day on your home for Alabama football.
Listen to Alabama football all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
There's the phone and no one to answer.
256-576-4977.
And as a result, we got many phone calls and letters.
Give us a call on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline today. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Michigan, though, only 26.3 penalty yards per game, which ranks number 1 in the country. Nick Saban is 8-20 against the spread versus teams that average 42 or fewer penalty yards per game. This is the toughest game I had to handicap. Almost any bowl. I think Michigan's going to win 27-20.
I didn't want to hear it again. The last thing I wanted to do was hear that again. Welcome back, Tom Abraham Show. Segment of the show brought to you by North Alabama Mortgage in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida. It's North Alabama Mortgage. They've got you covered for all your mortgage needs. North Alabama Mortgage. Use that equity that you have in the home now, which is very high, to pay off your high interest rate stuff like your consumer debt. And you say, well, wait a minute, isn't the mortgage rate high? Well, it is, but you refi when it comes down, and then you still have gotten rid of that high consumer debt. So you get rid of those credit cards and things like that. Believe me, it's outstanding. I did it. It was the greatest thing that I ever did. It's North Alabama Mortgage. Go to NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. Chubby Ninja, I've been very satisfied with YouTube TV. Been using it for 6 months or so, and YouTube TV works on your phone or your tablet away from your home as well. It uses the same account, so you just take your TV with you wherever you go. That's very handy. All right, that's good, and Grizz has been telling me the same thing. All right, here's the question, though. Do I have to have multiple accounts if I'm going to have multiple TVs on it at the same time? So in other words, in the main house, let's say we're watching YouTube TV here in the main house, and I got a YouTube TV account. Can they watch out in the guest house? Could they also log in and watch something else on YouTube TV? Anybody know that answer? Chris? Looking at me like I got two heads.
So I'm trying to remember like how many. It's supposed to be 6, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Different things.
Yeah.
So somebody can be in one room watching one show on YouTube TV and another room watching another show.
But I have done it like
I only need 2.
Right. And it just depends on like how many people you put on your because it's all attached to our Gmail. So it depends on who all you put on there. And so if someone else is on it, it may affect it. So you may say, hey, turn yours off or something. But I don't know how many. I don't know if it says limited or if it's still. I think it was 6 at one time, but I can't be for sure.
Bama Todd says YouTube TV is the only way to go. Much better than Hulu. All right, so Bama Todd weighing in on it as well. You guys are giving me making me feel really good about making that decision if that's the way I want to go. Let's see. YouTube TV has much better picture quality over Hulu. I tried both, and they've got the NFL packs. I know that they got the NFL package with some glorious football games in 4K as well. So that's good advice there. Some more good reviews coming in. I have not had anybody, other than my boss, say that Hulu is the way to go as opposed to YouTube. Not one person. I mean, that's pretty impressive stuff right there. Now, the one negative, Bally Sports, Bama Bill, Bally Sports says, Bally Sports carries the Braves game, and it's not on Hulu or YouTube TV. Only on the direct TV stream. It's a deal breaker for Braves fan. I know for a fact. Now, what if you have – I bet I wouldn't be. You might be if you're in Alabama. I'm over the border into Tennessee. If you have the MLB Extra Innings package or the MLB app, can I watch the Braves on the MLB app and send that up to the TV? Or is that blocked too? That's what I've heard. I've heard that they block their local markets, and it's like, that's stupid. I'm 3 hours from Atlanta.
There's also something that I saw back in March that said I believe that MLB Network is no longer carried on the streaming surface as well. But
there's no MLB Network on YouTube?
I believe so.
That's a problem.
Yeah, it says why YouTube TV dropped MLB Network ahead of 2023.
Well, maybe it'll be back for 2024. I'll have to research that. All right, let's go to the lines. We start with Harry. Harry, welcome to the show. How are you? Oh, Harry bailed. Just as I went to Harry. He went just as I went to Harry. By the way, Cody called. He's a Tennessee fan. Couldn't stay on the air. Cody said that he wants Alabama. He's a Tennessee fan. He wants Alabama to beat Michigan because Michigan cheats, and they are worse than Ohio State. All right, let's try Harry again. Harry, welcome in. How are you? Harry, talk to me.
Hey, Tom, can you hear me?
Now I got you. Hey, how are you doing, Harry?
I'm doing very well, Tom. I just want to make a couple of quick comments about this Michigan-Alabama thing. First of all, I'm a moderate Auburn fan. I used to start every season hoping that the University of Alabama would have a plane crash. Then I realized I wasn't going to get to heaven following that kind of advice.
No, that's not good.
And I decided that I wish they have an NCAA investigation, and I've started developing a relationship. I now have 3 Alabama friends. But the point I want to make is
wait, Harry, does that include me? All right, because I'd like to think that we're friends now, as much as you text and everything else. Would I be on that list of 3, or do you now have 4 Alabama friends?
Tom, the cut to be one of my friends is I have to trust him with my life, and you haven't reached that goal yet.
No, don't trust me with your life. Don't do that.
I've been on a boat with him, so I kind of.
Ansel
Grizz and I are friends.
David Huss and Frank Kelly are soldiers. They're Alabama fans, and I've been proselytizing to them for years. But St. Peter asked me what I did for making life better on earth. I'm going to tell them that I tried to convert 3 Alabama friends to at least acknowledge Auburn plays football. Now, the point about Michigan, the point we're missing is Alabama is representing the SEC in the national championship game, as they should. And I'm going to be cheering for Alabama all the way, and very hope, that they carry it all the way through to the final. Because if we don't, you're predicting correctly the Michigan gathering we're going to hear every week for week in and week out from the Michigan fans that are misguided, and I'm praying for them too.
Okay.
But again, we just got to watch out for that. God, I think your prognosticator that was talking a while ago was wrong. I think Alabama's got a solid chance this year. They got 2 games to win. They got behind the power curve at the start of the season, beat 9 SEC teams to get to where they're at, and they got to win 2 more games. If Saban can't motivate them for 2 more games to bring home his 8th or 9th or whatever, Eli Gold will tell you how many they got. They're missing the boat here. But I think Alabama is going to take it all the way, and I believe the Michigan fans are misguided, and they've taken a very, very cavalier approach to a cheating scandal. Over.
All right. Appreciate you, Harry. That's a good job by you. He's got to trust you with his life. Gave me the over. Give me the over. He's like calling in an airstrike or something, Harry? You know, Harry's on. Well, you think he was on a phone, or you think Harry called me on a radio? Was he on a two-way radio?
He was storming a beach while he was calling you. Yeah.
He was like, "All right, I'm not. You're not friends with me. To be a friend of mine, I got to trust you with my life." Over. Harry's big time.
Roger.
Fan. All right, back to the lines. Jay from Athens is not an Auburn fan. Jay, welcome in. How are you?
Heck no, man. How you doing?
I am fantastic.
Trust Harry with your life, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, man. But, yeah, I don't know what Lee's thinking there, but I think Michigan's got some injuries out there, and I just think that, you know, Alabama's on a mission. They want to, like the hashtag link, let all naysayers know they're out to win it all, and that's what they're going to try to do.
I think that Wolverine Dan's comment, honest to God, I do believe that Wolverine Dan's comment is a little bit of a window to the soul of not only Wolverine fan, but to Wolverine players, the program, and everything else. I bet deep down in their hearts,
Alabama should be to a 7 to a 10-point favorite over us, period.
I think that's what J.J. McCarthy thinks. I think that's what the running back thinks, Corum. I think that's even what, I think deep down in his soul of souls, that's Jim Harbaugh talking to himself. I think that's how they feel. I really do. I believe that. I think he's speaking for all of them.
And knowing Dan the way we do, he's sincere about that. You know, he don't hate Alabama. I mean, he don't hate, because
he hates Alabama.
That's the way he feels. Well,
I think he hates Alabama.
But I when I saw the line, I thought, well, what are they thinking favoring Michigan? But anyway, I just want to get my picks in right quick. All
right, Atlanta, the Falcons are -3.5 at Carolina.
Well, Grizz, I'm going with the Dirty Birds just because
All right.
It's going to be raining like cats and dogs, and I think the experience with the Falcons, especially at quarterback, and poor old Bryce Young, he don't have nobody to block for him. So I think Atlanta's going to win probably by a 3-0 score because it's supposed to be like a monsoon tomorrow.
The Falcons are headed to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I hope if it's 3-0, you're going to lose because
as long as Ritter can hold on to the ball.
They're laying 3.5 with that thing, man.
Yeah, but
I got to win 4-0. Yeah. Is it going to be? I don't know. That's
it's supposed to be. I heard Moulton. I heard Moulton earlier this morning. He even talked about it. There's a lot of East Coast games that are going to be affected, and that's one of them.
That would be David Moulton. He's talking.
Yeah,
about.
Not Steve
Moulton.
Moulton.
You say Moulton around here.
Sorry.
You got to make sure that you
David Moulton on Miller and Moulton.
Houston gets 3.5 at the Oilers.
Give me the Oilers.
When you say the Oilers, you're talking Super Bowl.
Hope it's not raining here Sunday. We got the wedding on the porch. The Cowboys get 1.5 at the Bills.
I'm taking Josh Allen and those Bills Mafia because I think, the weather up there too, Tom. You never know how the Cowboys, because they're an inside team. But I'm just thinking the Bills Mafia and the weather. So take the Bills.
Make me wanna shout, kick your heels up and shout, throw your hands up and shout.
Also a desperate team. I mean, they cannot afford another loss. The Bears, in our bonus, the Bears get 3.5 at the Browns.
Hey, I'm going to take you Brownies.
Chubb's
I
a
like
man.
what Joe Flacco's doing.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco's regenerated himself, and I think he's going to get them there.
Yeah, right off the couch, right out of Turkey Bowl and into Cleveland. All right, man. We got you in.
Hey, man. Hey, I appreciate you. Y'all have a great rest of the day. And Grizz, I'm glad you're doing well, brother. You take care.
Yeah, I appreciate it, brother. Thank you. I feel so much better, and that 2 weeks was needed.
Let's go back to the lines. I don't know why I thought I saw Grumpy up there, but it's Auburn Shorty is up next. Auburn Shorty sounds like a new caller to the doghouse. Auburn Shorty, is this your first time getting in with me?
Yes, sir. It is my first time calling to y'all.
So I finally said something that got you motivated to call about whether or not an Auburn fan can pull for Alabama or Michigan in that game. What's going on?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a diehard Auburn fan since I was 4 years old. I'm 47. And every time they've been in a national championship, I pull for them.
Alabama?
Alabama.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want to hear this.
Yes.
We don't want to hear from these Michigan people. We don't need them wearing us out.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing is I'm a Penn State fan as well. So, yes, I definitely do not like Michigan.
There you go.
But
Yeah, I
yes,
like Penn State too. Yeah.
Everyone's saying Alabama's going to beat them. Yeah, Alabama's going to beat them, and I'm going to predict 34-14.
Wow. 20-point win going away, baby.
They beat them like 35-16 in 21.
Something like that. Yeah, a couple of years ago.
Or, 19. I'm sorry, 19.
Because Saban's just going to smack him in his mouth and make him shut up, and hopefully they'll push Harbaugh out. But hope to God he don't go to my dadgum Bears.
Well, now that job is open in San Diego, I think that one's pretty attractive. There's been a lot of talk about Bill Belichick, but because there's a quarterback there with Justin Herbert, I think that San Diego job becomes very attractive. San Diego, that L.A. Charger job becomes very attractive to some people. The only thing is, do you want to coach at a place where you have no home field advantage? Do you want to coach someplace where every game you play, you're either on the road or you're on the road in your own city of Los Angeles? And, that's going to be what they're going to have to deal with there.
Well, I mean, he came from San Francisco to begin with, so he's got a lot of fan base out there.
Right, and Stanford. So, he's coached in California. Right, so he's done. All right, do you want to get on this trifecta at all?
Sure.
All right, the Falcons are -3.5 at Carolina.
I'm going to have to say this, the Dirty Birds.
The Falcons are headed to the Super Bowl.
Houston gets 3.5 at, well, we're calling them the Oilers because the Titans are wearing Oiler gear.
I'm going to go with Houston.
Houston, we have a problem.
With the C.J. Stroud thing. But the Davis kid is not a bad
Davis
quarterback.
Mills.
Yeah, Davis Mills. The Cowboys get 1.5 at the Bills.
I am going with the Bills.
Bills make me wanna shout, kick your heels up and shout, throw your hands up and shout.
And the bonus is the Bears getting 3.5 at the Browns.
Shoot. Well, a buddy of mine's going to hate me for this one, but I'm going to have to pick the Bears on it.
The Bears.
Who's your Browns buddy?
He is. It's funny story between me and him is we've been friends since we was 9 years old. His parents, his family and my family are from Youngstown, Ohio.
Oh, okay.
And his dad and my dad never met until we were 21 years old. And come find out they played football, baseball, and ran track together in Youngstown, Ohio.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what you need to do. You need to say to your daddy, is your dad still alive?
Yes, sir. But he is not a Browns. He is actually a Alabama alumni.
Oh, really? Well, you need to say to your daddy.
He actually tutored for Bear Bryant.
Wow. How cool is that? You need to ask your daddy if he ever heard the name Eddie Elias. Everybody in Youngstown knows Eddie Elias. Eddie Elias is family to me. The Eddie Elias, big Youngstown family. Eddie Elias, he's actually the guy who started the PBA, the Professional Bowlers Association, Eddie Elias. But he's that was a big name in Youngstown. Say, hey, this guy on the Tom Abraham show, his uncle twice removed is Eddie Elias. It was my father's uncle, basically. So,
I asked him.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, my wife, her family is from Youngstown, Ohio as well.
That is nuts. All right, Shorty. Crazy. I appreciate you, man. Good job by you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Auburn Shorty getting his first call into the house. I love that. Johnny is on a cell. Johnny, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, great, man. How are you?
I am fantastic.
So, if you take a look at the athletes that are on the field, Michigan, Alabama, Texas, Washington, you can flip. And then you start looking at 5-star, 4-star, and 3-stars. The number 4 team has the most 5, 4, and 3. The number 3 team has the second most, and then the number 2. And then Michigan is actually the least talented team in the playoff.
Based on high school talent. Yeah, you're right.
Right. And they have played the weakest schedule.
Right.
I mean, they have
For
more cupcakes on their schedule than a kindergartner's birthday party.
You're right.
I mean, they played two teams, Penn State and Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they played a half a team in Iowa because Iowa's got a good defense.
But they were not very impressive against Iowa. I mean, their defense shut out Iowa, but everybody shuts out Iowa.
The point is, Tom, in playoff games when there's, generally you can't say that Harbaugh's got the advantage over Saban coaching. So that goes back to – then you go back to talent. And Bama is clearly the more talented team when you look at athletes and their rankings and then where they're going to, how many draftable kids are on the team.
Right.
I don't see how Michigan's going to. I mean, they haven't faced the adversity that Bama has faced day in, day out for the whole season. This Bama team is battle hardened, and they will be a. And I'm sorry, but the Merril kid has grown up in front of our very eyes, and he is a second coming of a defensive coordinator's worst nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see any way Michigan stays within 2 touchdowns of Bama here.
It's a good point.
I just don't.
I agree with you with the number. I think Bama's going to win going away. No doubt about it. All right, do you want to get picks in here quick?
Yeah, let's hit them.
Atlanta -3.5 at Carolina.
Carolina.
That's something that we preach a lot about, making sure that we keep the main thing.
Houston gets 3.5 at the Oilers.
Titans. Oilers.
When you say the Oilers, you're talking Super Bowl.
Cowboys get 1.5 at the Bills.
Cowboys.
How about that guy, baby?
I'm officially worried about the Phillip because after that win against the Eagles, for him not to call every day and tell us that the NFL exists solely for the use of the Dallas Cowboys and not to text and not to – I'm a little nervous. Bears get 3.5 at the Browns.
Brownie.
I think Miles took the approach of, real G's moving silence like lasagna.
All right, Johnny, we got you in.
Thank you.
All right, let's get a break. Wait a minute. Gris says I could take these last 2 and then hit the break at 55. Is that right, Gris? Is that what you're telling me? Gris is producing. Is that still good? All right, we'll go to break, and then we'll come back and take our last couple of calls. Phil and Grumpy, stay there, and we'll get you guys in on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Rambo Marine in Hazel Green is your one-stop shop for all things boating. Whether you are ready to surf with the newest Malibu wake boat or cruise on a Cobalt or Barletta pontoon, we have a boat ready for you and your family. Rambo Marine provides exceptional service second to none, so that you are ready to hit the water in no time. Stop by Rambo Marine today. We know boats.
Welcome back. Tom Abraham Show. All right, let's knock them out quick. Let's go, Johnny, or check that. Let's go, Phil the blacksmith. Phil, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm great, young man. How about yourself?
I am fantastic.
Good deal. Let me
ready to get in on this?
Yeah, let's get on this fix here.
All right. Atlanta -3.5 at Carolina.
Atlanta.
The Falcons are headed to the Super Bowl.
Houston +3.5 at the Oilers.
Uh-oh. I just don't understand on right. Oh. Let's go with the Oilers.
When you say the Oilers, you're talking Super Bowl.
It's because the Titans are wearing Houston Oiler gear this week. So that's why we're calling them the Oilers this week, which is confusing because they're playing Houston. The Cowboys get 1.5 at the Bills.
I'm going to go with the Bills on this.
Bills make me wanna shout, kick your heels up and shout, throw your hands up and shout.
Bonus is the Bears getting 3.5 at the Browns.
Browns.
Chubb's a man.
All right, we got you in, Phil.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you. All right, let's end it with Grumpy. Grumpy, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, man, pretty good. It's Friday, people. Have some etiquette. Don't get on here and tell me about Coney Island. Don't bloviate and regurgitate the obvious. Get on and get off. Give me all the home team. Thanks.
Are we on?
Oh, God, Grumpy, you got to love it. So Grumpy took Carolina, he took the Oilers, he took the Bills, and he took the Browns. So there you go. He got all the home teams in there. All right, that's going to do it. Perfect timing. We got everybody in that maybe wanted to get in. I don't know. Maybe not. But we're done for the week. We'll be back on an overreaction Monday. We'll give you a review of the bowl games that were played, the NFL, plus how we did on our games and how we're doing on our games going forward into Bowl Pick'em contest. Get in. You got till midnight tonight to get in the contest. Grizz Mix the Show. The Paul Feinbaum Show is next. I'm Tom Abraham. This is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.